Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have to admit, the moment I heard Peter August was about to creep back into Anna's life, I knew this wasn't going to be an ordinary homecoming. Not because Peter is actually standing in front of her again, but because sometimes the most dangerous enemy is the one nobody else can see. I'll tell you what, I've watched enough stories over the years to know that when a person starts fighting battles inside their own mind, every smile they wear becomes harder to believe. That's exactly why this storyline has been sitting with me ever since I read the latest spoilers. From where I'm standing, Anna isn't simply returning home to Port Charles. She's walking into a storm that never really ended. The heartbreaking part is that everyone around her believes she's finally turning a corner. They want to celebrate her recovery, welcome her back, and convince themselves the worst is over. But I can't shake the feeling that Anna knows something they don't. She may be putting on a brave face, yet deep down she realizes she's still carrying Peter everywhere she goes. What really caught my attention is Anna's decision to hide the truth from the people who love her most. I understand why she would do it. A lot of folks in life think protecting family means carrying every burden alone. That's a very American kind of stubborn pride, if you ask me. Just keep smiling, keep moving, and hope nobody notices you're falling apart inside. The trouble is, that kind of silence usually comes with a heavy price. Anna managed to convince Felicia and even her own doctor that she was ready to leave treatment, but I'm not convinced she truly believes it herself. That's the part that worries me the most. You can fool friends, you can even fool professionals for a while, but it's awfully hard to fool your own heart. If she already knows she's still seeing Peter, then every step she takes outside those hospital walls is built on shaky ground. And Peter's presence inside Anna's mind makes everything even more unsettling. He doesn't have to lay a hand on her anymore. He doesn't need to threaten her face to face. In many ways, that's even scarier. His shadow hangs over every happy moment before it even has a chance to grow. I can almost picture Anna walking into a room filled with smiling faces while, in her own eyes, Peter is standing quietly in the corner, reminding her of every mistake, every regret, and every fear she has tried to bury. That's why I don't think this story is really about ghosts or hallucinations. To me, it's about guilt refusing to let go. Peter has become the voice that constantly questions Anna's judgment and pushes her to doubt the very people trying to help her. Once that seed of doubt takes root, even the warmest welcome home can start feeling like another trap. The summer preview says Peter will continue casting a shadow over Anna's return to Port Charles, and honestly, I believe that's only the beginning. Every family gathering, every reunion, every quiet conversation has the potential to become another battlefield inside her mind. The saddest part is that nobody else may realize she's fighting for her life every single day while pretending everything is perfectly fine. I've always believed General Hospital is at its best when the biggest danger isn't a gun or a bomb, but the invisible wounds people carry inside themselves. Watching Anna struggle to separate reality from the whispers in her head feels painfully human. It reminds me that sometimes the strongest people are the ones who are hurting the most, simply because they've become experts at hiding it. The more I think about it, the more convinced I become that Valentin is going to recognize the truth long before Anna is willing to admit it. That's always been one of the things I admire about him. He doesn't just listen to words, he watches expressions, notices hesitation, and pays attention to the silence between sentences. Those little details often tell a much bigger story than anything someone is willing to say out loud. I have a hard time believing Anna can hide this forever. She may walk back into Port Charles with her shoulders held high, greeting friends with confidence and insisting that she's ready to move forward. But people who truly know her will notice the difference. Valentin has spent enough years understanding Anna's strengths and weaknesses that he'll probably realize almost immediately that something isn't adding up. Maybe it will be the way she avoids eye contact for a split second. Maybe she'll suddenly lose focus during a conversation. Or maybe she'll glance toward an empty corner of the room as though someone else is standing there. Those tiny moments are exactly the kind of things Valentin won't ignore. From my point of view, Valentin won't approach her with suspicion. He'll approach her with concern. That's an important difference. I don't think he'll be looking for secrets because he wants to judge her. He'll be asking questions because he genuinely wants to help. After everything Anna survived during her captivity, any caring person would wonder whether she was truly recovering or simply pretending to recover for everyone else's sake. And that's where my heart really goes out to Anna. I can almost understand why she'd choose to keep everything bottled up. She doesn't want to become another burden. She doesn't want the people she loves spending every minute worrying about whether she's slipping back into darkness. So instead, She does what so many people do in real life. She smiles a little wider than she feels, speaks a little more confidently than she believes, and hopes nobody notices the cracks beginning to spread underneath. But here's the thing I've learned over the years. Pain doesn't disappear just because we stop talking about it. In fact, it often grows stronger in silence. That's exactly what scares me about Anna's situation. Every day she refuses to admit what she's seeing, Peter's influence seems to become just a little more powerful. It's almost as though the hallucination feeds on her isolation, becoming louder every time she convinces herself she can handle it alone. At the same time, I know Anna won't simply sit back and let unanswered questions haunt her forever. If there's one thing she's never lost, it's her determination to uncover the truth. I expect her to press Valentin for every detail he knows about Ross Cullum and his connection to the kidnapping. She'll want timelines, motives, names, and every missing piece of the puzzle. After everything she endured, she deserves to know exactly who orchestrated this nightmare and how deeply the manipulation really went. The revelations about Ross Cullum could be enormous. They might explain how Anna became such an easy target for psychological manipulation. They could reveal just how carefully every move was planned before she was ever taken captive. The more I think about it, the less I believe this was random. It feels calculated from beginning to end, as though someone understood that breaking Anna mentally would be far more effective than hurting her physically. Even so, I don't believe discovering the truth about Cullum will magically fix anything. That's what makes this storyline feel so realistic to me. Answers can satisfy curiosity, but they don't always heal emotional wounds. Knowing exactly who caused the damage doesn't automatically erase the damage itself. Anna may finally understand why everything happened, yet still wake up every morning carrying the same fear, the same guilt, and the same terrifying visions. And that's where Peter becomes the most dangerous figure in the entire story. Ironically, Peter doesn't even have to be alive to control Anna anymore. His greatest weapon isn't his physical presence, it's the place he's managed to occupy inside her mind. Every hallucination chips away at her confidence. Every whispered suggestion makes her question her instincts. Every appearance reminds her of failures she'd rather forget. Over time, those whispers stop sounding like an outside voice and begin sounding like her own thoughts. That's a frightening place for anyone to be. I also can't help wondering whether Peter's whispers are leading Anna toward one specific mission. Hallucinations in stories like this rarely exist without a purpose. They usually push a character toward one defining choice, one action that changes everything. If Peter is steering Anna toward a dangerous path, then every conversation she has from this point forward could carry consequences she doesn't even recognize until it's too late. That's what keeps me invested in this storyline. It isn't simply about solving a mystery anymore. It's about watching an incredibly strong woman fight to hold on to her identity while her own mind keeps betraying her. Those are the kinds of stories that stay with me long after the episode ends because they remind me that not every battle leaves visible scars. As these next episodes unfold, I'll be paying close attention to every interaction between Anna and Valentin. I have a feeling he'll become one of the first people to realize the truth, but realizing it and knowing how to save her are two very different things. Sometimes love, loyalty, and good intentions simply aren't enough when someone is trapped inside their own mind. For me, that's the emotional heart of everything happening right now in General Hospital. The mystery surrounding Ross Cullum is fascinating, and I'm eager to learn every secret still waiting to be uncovered. But the story that truly grabs my attention is Anna's fight against the invisible shadow Peter continues to cast over her life. Until she finds a way to silence those whispers once and for all, I don't believe she's truly free. And something tells me the most shocking chapters of this story haven't even begun yet.